Glad Weast came on. I didn't know he was on. What was he telling you? I didn't see what he was saying for y'all to do. Hey, we are back. We are back. We are back. Weast, I appreciate you helping me out. I appreciate you helping me out. Yes, Jams, I'm back. I'm back. I'm excited about what's going on. I don't fully know exactly what happened, but it seemed like I had a little. Hey, you're you're my nerd, Weast. You're my nerd. You're my nerdy. You're my nerdy. Thank you, sir. We'll give the others a chance to try to come on back and see if we can get them running. Yes, man, you're my nerd. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm new in this space and I'm learning as we go, and I want to have an excellent broadcast. I'm learning all the different little nuances and the ins and the outs. And so every little bit helps. You are my friend, and thank you so much for checking in and stopping by to see about your sis on today, man. You're the best. You are the absolute best. I'm so happy that the Rebel hooked me up with you. So we're going to give the others a little bit of time to come back before I continue on the conversation, because we had a full house, and some of them may have thought I was not aware. I appreciate you all letting me know that the stream had stopped its viewing. I'll try to figure out whatever that glitch may have been. Maybe it was a one-off. I don't know, but we'll try to figure it out for future situations. And some may think it's completely over because there was a little bit of time lag before I realized that I was not broadcasting. So again, it's always good. Jams JJ, you are a lifesaver, because throughout you were constantly communicating with me down there in that chat, so I could know what was happening out there in the outside world. So we'll give the others a chance to see if they're going to make it back or not. Oh, listen, I'm too trusting. I tell you, I don't know. I see them coming back in the room. They're coming back in the room. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I'm like, welcome back, Cotter. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Thank you, BTD Mom. Good to see you back. I got some others coming back slowly but surely. I appreciate you. I see you out there, Rebel Inc. Thank you, Rebel. I appreciate you for hanging in there with me. I want to appreciate you, Rebel, for bringing Weast into my world, because he's good people. He helped me get that the hookup rather, and get us back in the saddle here. Let's see. We'll see if some more are coming. Hey, Teresa, I don't know what happened, T. Now you see me, now you don't. I was there 1 second, and the next thing you know, I was out of here. And it's good. Field goal. They kicked me right on out. So we're back. I see slowly but surely. We're not up to where we were, but you're coming back slowly but surely. So I appreciate you coming back in the room. Come on in the room. Come on. So I appreciate you coming on back. That's my boy. Listen, the Rebel, he blessed me this morning. He blessed me this morning to get us back up and running. So I appreciate him. And Joanna, Jams JJ, go out there and check out Wild Weast. He's all right. He has an excellent show. You might already be subscribed, knowing you. You've been going everywhere the Rebel has been recommending and hooking up and making connections. So that's all good. All right. Well, hey, Rhonda, good to have you back. Thank you. I'm like the Terminator. I'll be back. We are back. We are back. And I'm glad each of you made it back with me. Not sure what the glitch was, but we're going to keep on rolling. So let's get this last little music out the way, because I still got something to say. So at the end of the day, we identify that all of these things were really working together against us. And so we want to be aware. We want to be cognizant of all of these different areas. We've been talking on what is our ask on Yes You with my friends, with Rhonda Royal, with Tyrone, Jana, and the Galactic Supervisor. What's our ask? When we start coming to the government and saying things have got to change, that's not enough. We've got to say what it is that we want changed. We've got to understand how we want things to change, because the systemic oppression The systemic racism that's been baked into the system like apple pie. We've got to be able to deconstruct that. We need to be able to deconstruct it with wisdom, with knowledge, with understanding, with clarity. I see more coming back. Welcome back. Welcome back as you're coming slowly but surely. Feel free to holler at me down there in the chat. But we're having all of this that we're learning because we want to be able to define. We want to be able to declare. This is our ask. If we don't know what it is that we want, we don't know how to ask for what we want and what needs to change. So we're not ignorant. We're not stupid to some of these things that were built into the system as we get knowledge. Again, I'm going to go back to The Color of Law. I want to go back to that book by Richard Rothstein and again, encourage you. By all means, I want to encourage you, if you can, get that book because it's a good foundational understanding so that you can realize how did all of this come to be and how was it systemically baked into the system. Then we got to unbake this cake, y'all. We need to understand yield spread premiums. We don't want them. They are illegal, but they still pop up in contracts, and particularly for people that don't know. And as I said, as recently as the Reagan administration, when it was challenged and brought to the fore that it's still going on, the courts closed their eyes. We've got to get them to open their eyes. It's de facto off the books, but it's de jure off the books, but it's de facto still in practice. We've got to be able to say, the thing, even with Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Citibank, the things of the subprime lending, after they got out of the bubble, after they got paid the bailout, they went right back and started doing it again, y'all. They went right back and started selling those same properties the same way. We've got to have a full understanding so that we don't get caught with our pants down. We've got to come out of being prey. I mean, P-R-E-Y. And I'm telling y'all been P-R-A-Y-ing long enough. I need you to stop being P-R-E-Y. The church teach you how to P-R-A-Y, but some of that stuff they're teaching you is how to be a P-R-E-Y. We've got to come to a point where we have knowledge, where we have understanding. And again, where did I say they started sending? And it was an all black division that they sent out, the banks I'm speaking of, sent out to the black churches to sell these subprime loans. It looks good because again, they had teaser. Hear what I'm saying? And that's not my word of the day. I'm talking about yield spread premiums as the word of the day, because that's giving them more commission in their pockets. But you need to understand teaser rates. Teaser rates are where it looks like those rates start off low. It looks like those rates start off reasonably, but they're going to balloon during the life of that mortgage. You're going to have a balloon in there, either of the rate or the mortgage itself. So understand, you've got to be privy to this information. Now, I'm going to go back to what I've been saying for the last several days. We need to own land. Land appreciates more times than not. Land appreciates in value. Oh, and I'm going to say this because I'm closing out the chapter, because I'm probably, for those that are following along in the book, I'm going to guess I'm probably 5, 6, 7, chapter 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to say probably 6 or 7, somewhere around in there. For those that are following the book, I want to bring this in as well, because when I start talking about we need to own land, also be aware that this happened. And now, this happened. So understand that when black developers, black individuals started identifying and saying we need to own some land. That's a true statement. We need to own some land. Then also what began to happen was, instead of allowing those subdivisions to be built, instead of selling, and let's identify, there were many instances where what was being done was nothing less than they would go in and declare eminent domain and then turn around and give that property to developers who were committed to the idea of segregation and were committed to the idea of not selling to black people, and that were committed to the idea of doing something that where the information was going to be kept away to hold some people in suppression and other people to an advantage. So at the end of the day, when we get down to it, we look and identify that that was used in one way, where there was a matter of eminent domain to give it to who you want it to go to. But then this is where zoning came into play. There were subdevelopments and individuals of color that wanted to buy land. Then that land was suddenly rezoned, no longer a place of dwelling, no longer residential, but now it's rezoned for something else, industrial. It's rezoned it's rezoned in ways so that you cannot use it. So then we have to come to a point of recognizing these tools. We've got to be aware how they're used. And what's our ask? The ask becomes very critical, and we've got to understand it very clearly so that we can change the de jure segregation. We can change the de facto segregation. We can change the de jure, what's on the books legally, racism. We can change the de facto racism. So wisdom, knowledge, understanding. You've got to come to a point of getting information. And my word for the day, again, yield spread premiums. It is currently illegal de jure, but it's currently in practice in some areas de facto. De jure, de facto, but still operating. So you've got to be aware. Don't walk into it ignorantly. It is against the law. It is against the law. It is not de jure, but it is still found de facto. Be clear of your rights. Understand what you're able to do, what you're not able to do. Be really, really clear on that point so that you don't get caught. Because what we don't know is killing us. And there are some things that, hey, straight up, hands down, it needs to change. We're going to work together to change the system for the right. Liberty and justice for all. So when we get into a place of change, we've got to be armed with what it is we want changed, how it is we want it changed, because some of it is still de jure. Some of it is still on the books. Some of it is still very seriously enacted. So we've got to use wisdom. We've got to have knowledge. We've got to come to a place where we can really, really deal reality. Because we can keep saying and singing, lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring. And everybody needs to be singing that song, not just black folks. We need white people that love justice. We need Hispanics that love justice. We need LGBTQ that love justice. We need our indigenous and Native American friends that love justice. We just need people that love justice to come together. But as I understand people of color, black people from all shades of brown bodies. We need to stand up together and say, this is the change that we want. Yield spread premiums. Educate your brothers, educate your sisters. Because at the end of the day, if they get caught with a contract, yes, it's illegal, but just because it's illegal doesn't mean it's not still being done. Educate. Before you get ready to go buy a house, yes, I want you to own land. Buy that empty lot next to you that's sitting vacant. And we can, one neighborhood at a time, rebuild this thing. We can, one neighborhood at a time, make a difference. Start buying it up. And then start doing something positive with it to appreciate the value so that we can, brick by brick, build our communities back up. Don't just leave them to lie waste. Let's build them back up. We have the power to build them back up. And again, I'm not talking about a handout. I'm not talking about what you're going to give me. And yes, I do feel like there are certain things that need to be atoned for. But at the same time, even if you're not going to do me right, we can do each other right. We can do ourselves right if we would just bind together and do it. Just bind together and do it. And so at the end of the day, we're going to come back. We're going to understand YSP, yield spread premium. And even if you're not buying a house, but you know your sister or your brother is getting ready to buy a house, I want you to pass this knowledge on to them. Do you hear me? If they don't know, you spread the knowledge to them so that they're not caught with their pants down. So at the end of the day, I hope that this teaching has helped you. At the end of the day, let me keep it real. I'm going to say this. I understand what Jams JJ is saying as far as me being so trusting, because sometimes when I get in these heavy topics, mysteriously, I get disconnected. Now, what did I start the podcast saying? People are listening. People are watching. I'm not trying to run a conspiracy theory. But just like I said about the young men that were tracked down via Facebook, I'm not Jams JJ. I'm not crazy. I think it's really convenient that I suddenly got disconnected today at just the opportune point. So at the end of the day, I want to say, while I'm teaching us to come together, it's not racist in nature. To some people, it may sound threatening. It is not threatening. I am advocating that we all come together for change. And I'm advocating that we all work the best that we can. I'm not afraid to speak. I'm looking for formats where we can talk and tell the truth. And really, how do you kill and destroy the elephant of racism one bite at a time? We got to do it one bite at a time. And racism is only going to be destroyed by knowledge. We've got to have knowledge. We've got to understand, how is it able to be perpetuated? How is it able to keep going? We've got to have the understanding. So as we come into this place, I'm winding it on down. We're going to keep on chatting. We're going to keep on talking. Change is going to come, Jams JJ. I'm with you. Change is going to come. I appreciate, and for anybody that wants to know, I appreciate Weast, because Weast is, he's my brother, but his complexion is different than mine. But he's still my brother, and I'm still his sister. And that's how we come together. That's how we do this thing. This is how we love on each other, because it's not about the color of your skin. It's about people that are willing to stand together and make a difference in this world to make it a better place. So my brothers and my sisters, again, it's Tuesday. It's what's inside, Weast. It's what's inside. And I love you, man. I love you. As we come to the conclusion of Tuesday, September the 8th, in the year 2020, Our word for the day. I hope that you were able to get it. I hope that you're able to understand it. If you don't understand it, research it. Yield spread premiums. How does it impact you, and how does it affect your ability to own, to have ownership in this here world? I want you to own some land. First land I want you to own is yourself, because you are your own world. And your earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, and everything that dwells therein. I appreciate you for tuning in. For those of you that came back, oh my God, you show that you love. Yes, you. Oh, cubed. One-on-one, just me and you, because you came back. You could have stayed gone, but you came back to see about your sister. And I feel for my brother. I feel for my sister. And we gonna feel for each other. Chris, I enjoyed you. Teresa, I enjoyed you. The Rebel Inc., I enjoyed you. Jams JJ, Beat Deep Deep Mom, and to Rhonda Royal, Wild Weast. I'm trying to tell you, thank you for coming over and checking on your sister on today. To all, Monica was in the room, and to everybody that was in the room but didn't come in my chat, I'm so glad you joined me today. You are my brother, you are my sister, and I want you to know I feel for my brother. I feel for my sister. I love you. As Rhonda Royal, my dear friend, always says, listen, there are things that are going to happen in your life, but this is the deal. You got to deal with it, because if you don't deal with it, it will deal with you. Oh my God. So we're dealing with stuff today. We're dealing with stuff from yesterday. We're dealing with stuff that happened centuries ago, but it's still impacting us today, because I feel for my brother. Thank you for joining me. I will be right back here tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat station, from 7 to 9 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday through Friday. It's Yes You, Oh Cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And as I always say, I wish you peace for your journey. Hey, yes.
For my brother, feel for my brother. You know, a lot of my brothers are dead and gone, but they've been hanging on the block a little too long. What can I say? I hope they live to see a brighter day. And the ones that are doing fine, God bless you, 'cause you're doing fine. At the end of the day, don't forget about me. As days turn to weeks, and weeks turn to years, oh, I feel for my brother. And as time passes by, I see you're not satisfied. Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. The street life used to be on, straight up hustling till the break of dawn. Taught me how to do wrong right, everything inside. But somehow things started to change. Try to get us straight up out of the game. You couldn't see what I saw. The empire was starting to fall, and everything that I said never seemed to get into your head. I tried to do the right thing, living my life with the words that I sing. Now tell me, I wanted to know what happened to my best friend as days turn to weeks.